Settle in, folks, because it is time for the Got Manga Viz Summer Reading Book Club. I'm Michelle Wynn Bradley, and I'll be guiding you through this week's discussion. I'm here to get you excited and inspired to talk about manga, so that you can discuss the reading club guides with your friends, created by Pop Culture Classroom. This week's title is Beastars. Beastars is written and illustrated by Paro Itagaki and was the winner of the prestigious 2018 Manga Taisho Award. Beastars envelops you in a world where animal citizens are divided into two groups, herbivores and carnivores, which creates a deep divide in their society. One night, at the prestigious Cheriton Academy, an alpaca student named Tem is found murdered, and tensions between the herbivores and carnivores reaches a breaking point. With the killer still on the loose, mistrust and fear spread like wildfire around campus, and everyone is a suspect. Meanwhile, in the Academy's drama club, opening night nears, and the mix of herbivore and carnivore students are forced to push through their suspicions and act as a team. Through the eyes of the main character, a grey wolf named Legoshi, and his classmates, we gradually learn more about the relationships, hopes, and fears that drive many of the students to maintain the shaky peace between them. Despite the students' differences, they all share the same dream: to become a Beastar, a hero that can transcend conflict and mistrust and lead their society to greatness. Don't forget to check out the official reading club guide for Beastars that will get you to start thinking critically about the intricate story and its themes. You can find it in the link below. Today we'll discuss some of these topics so that you can round up your friends for a fun and fulfilling Viz Summer Reading Book Club discussion. And here's your little reminder that beyond this point, there shall be spoilers! You have been warned. So let's get into the real meat about Beastars. This manga is a fantastical look at a world where animals run a society that harbors divisive politics, tensions among citizens, and everyday dreams that run strikingly similar to our own human one. Let's examine the themes of Beastars Volume 1 that make this manga profound and relatable. The major conflict in the world of Beastars is the divide between carnivores and herbivores, and the prejudice that exists on both sides that stems from everyone's desire to survive in this animal society. For herbivores, a fear of carnivores is embedded in them, because in this world, if a carnivore loses control, it always results in the death of an herbivore. Chapter 1 paints a picture of a world where herbivores' fears are validated after an alpaca student, Tem, is found murdered on school grounds. Legoshi, a grey wolf carnivore, appears intimidating, large, and suspicious as he skulks in corners observing the fallout. It's obvious the other students suspect Legoshi of Tem's murder. Because he's so big, he's a carnivore, they have a prejudice against carnivores already. They think, he probably did it, he's acting really funny right now. But in the end, it's revealed that Legoshi is really just a timid and awkward wolf who is trying to fulfill his friend Tem's last wish in the most discreet way possible by delivering a letter to Els, a woolly sheep student who Tem was in love with. When Els finds out the truth, she realizes that she harbors a strong prejudice against carnivores. She tells Legoshi that she can clear up the misunderstanding between the other students who also think the same thing, but Legoshi says, "I'll be fine. It's always been like this. I'm used to being feared and hated. I'll survive." He truly doesn't think that there's any point in changing others' minds because prejudice is so ingrained into their animal society. Legoshi represents what it's like to be carnivore in this world, who, in his own quiet way, is fighting against the prejudices of society to become a better animal, even if there is no reward for doing so. We can see that the prejudice between herbivores and carnivores in Beastars is the driving force of this story, and the rest of the themes all tie into how to fight this. We start to see the ways that Legoshi has to struggle to maintain self-control so that he doesn't appear threatening or dangerous to his classmates. Legoshi believes that exercising self-control is the key to fighting against the prejudices and stereotypes that are assigned to his own kind. However, even Legoshi has a tiny voice in his head that tells him to just let go and give in to his true nature, which brings us to our next theme, nature versus nurture. Which is stronger, nature or nurture in the Beastars world? From a biological standpoint, it's true that the nature of a carnivore is to be violent, want to eat meat, hunt, and kill. Legoshi believes that people fear and hate him, especially because he's the largest of the carnivores, the grey wolf. But as we read along, we start to understand that Legoshi's true nature is kind and quiet and not violent at all. It's clear that Legoshi wants to blend into the background when he's in large groups. He loves insects, and he's always trailing behind whenever he's with his group of friends. He's just kind of a quiet little dude. But then we see a harrowing moment when his nature takes over, and that's when Haru appears in front of him and runs away, and he just has to give chase. His nature takes over, and he becomes the violent wolf that he didn't want to be. Of course, we know the tragedy is averted when another student intervenes, but it's a very close call. Similar to this theme is fate versus choice. Because of the strong divide in the Beastar society, It's important for everyone to decide what kinds of morals and beliefs that they will uphold. Will they give in to the fate and beliefs of society, or will they make a choice and decide to actively go along with it or go against it? For Legoshi, he knows his true nature and what fate has in store for him, but he decides to fight against it, as we've already discussed. But what about herbivores? Haru the dwarf rabbit is one of the smallest creatures in animal society, but she decides to live life true to her own nature. When captured by Legoshi in Chapter 4, she reflects on her own beliefs, thinking, the winners in this world are those who live without hiding their true nature. She makes a choice to accept the fact that others will always see her as food, but believes she is a winner because she is not denying her truth. In Beastars, having pride in yourself and your species can lead to positive and negative ways of thinking. Louis the Red Deer is the most prideful character in this story, with his desire to become the next Beastar overshadowing all the decisions he makes. To become the next Beastar, you must earn the respect of all of those around you, both carnivore and herbivore. In his quest for that respect, Louis has honed his commanding presence and is self-assured that all decisions he makes are correct, which is not true all the time. He's proud to be an herbivore that can exude power, which is a trait generally left to carnivores in this world. In the school play, Louis has the role of the strong and powerful Grim Reaper named Adler, which he believes sends a strong message to his fellow classmates, that herbivores can rise up and fight for themselves against carnivores. Another theme that fights against prejudice is collaboration. Despite the tensions between herbivores and carnivores, the story shows that collaboration between the two groups can lead to understanding. Focusing on the Cherryton Academy Drama Club, we are given insight into the hopes and fears of its members. We see that by working together on the school play, the two groups have a chance to interact and learn about each other. And it is the very nuanced conflicts and friendships of the members that make up the story of Beastars. Beastars shows a world where a strong divided society shapes the lives of its citizens in different ways. Although the characters in this story are animals, it's easy to relate to their feelings as they navigate a world where prejudices can make you celebrate or loathe your lot in life. Getting a look at Lekoshi's internal conflicts is as relatable as it is bittersweet. We can fight against what society tells us to be, but it is definitely a long road where we must make hard choices along the way. Do you feel like you relate to any of the experiences of the students of Cherryton Academy? If so, tell us why in the comments below. Don't forget, you can dig even deeper into the world of Beastars with your friends, with even more discussion and activity ideas in the official Beastars Reading Club Guide, located in the link in the description below. Also below are links to our previous episodes about My Hero Academia and Komi Can't Communicate. You can read Beastars via digital download, or purchase the physical copy by visiting viz.com. Thanks everyone for joining us for our latest session of the Got Manga Viz Summer Reading Book Club. I have been your study buddy, Michelle and Bradley, and until next time, keep on reading. Is it herbivore or herbivore? Dwarf rabbit is one of the smallest animals in society. Stars? Beastars. Beastars. Prestigious. This will be good.